Once upon a time, in the kingdom that has never seen flowers, a tulip bloomed amongst all the green plants. And while some marveled at its beauty, the others labeled it ugly. And so the queen of the kingdom called her royal gardener and asked him to get rid of it. He cut the pink tulip and thought to take it to his daughter, because you see, he was one of those people who thought tulip to be rather quite beautiful. And that evening, as he came back home from work, he presented the tulip proudly to his child. Her eyes lit up in wonder, and hands stretched and grabbed the squeaky plant. "It is so beautiful," she said. "Why did you cut it?" And the father told her that it was the order of the queen, who was not as fond of the flower. After all, they lived in the kingdom of green plants, those that do not bloom. The little girl was transfixed on the pink flower. As far as she was concerned, this was the most beautiful thing she has seen in her entire life. And she wanted to remember the shape and the color of it, so she got out her pencils and drew it in her notebook. And she marveled at the drawing for years, until one day another tulip has bloomed in the kingdom. And once again her father was called to cut it down. But in a few days it became apparent that that was not the only flower. Somebody found a bunch of them growing behind the birch tree, and others right by the steps leading towards the castle. And so, as the gardener was cutting the flowers, they seemed to pop up everywhere, to his secret delight and the apparent delight of his daughter, who had bouquets of them in the house. But the queen, the queen was not happy. She wanted things as they were. Green, plants that she knew, beautifully shaped and tended to in the way just like it was always so. The pinks and reds and blues and all the other flowers that seemed to bloom, she wanted none of them. As the villagers played with flowers and braided them in the hair and drew them and sang and wrote stories about them, they stopped working as hard in her kingdom, polishing her marbles and tending to her evergreen gardens. There is no place for song here. There is no place for any other color, and there is sure no place here for flowers, she announced. And so she ordered to dig up all the flowers. Stop cutting them, but dig them all out with all the roots and burn them. Afraid of the queen, they all followed, dropping their heads in sorrow, feeling sad that the colors and the flowers will be gone from the kingdom. But they knew that in their kingdom, one does what one is told by the queen. And soon bonfires lit up the sky. Flowers and leaves and roots popping and scorching in the dancing flames of the fire, vanished, leaving nothing but ashes behind. And all returned to how things were before the first tulip appeared. But truth be told, nothing can just vanish. And so the villagers remembered, and they started to gather in the gardener's daughter's cottage to hear the stories of the first flower, to see her drawings and remember their beauty and color. And the women started to sew their dresses to resemble tulips and daisies. And soon the whole village was so vibrant that not even the queen could resist it. She tried at first, passing orders to abolish color, to deny wearing skirts looking like tulips, or no more hats that resemble sunflowers. But every time she passed one of her orders, the villagers found another way, because they no longer just dreamt of colors and flowers. They painted their lives and their entire beings multicolored. And so slowly, the queen started to change the ink on her orders and became partial to red and the vibrant blue and then violet. And without noticing, colorful ribbons appeared in her braided hair. And one day, seeing the subtle change in the queen, the women of the village decided to take a chance. They gathered the finest textiles that they had and made the most beautiful radiant dress, bejeweled with river pebbles and multicolored beads, rainbows of all the colors, a shiny silvery trail, the deep purple bodice, and a tulip-shaped skirt. And they brought the dress to her. As she opened the box, she gasped and immediately threw it to the side. "Bring me the gardener," she said. The women, afraid, scattered back to their houses, and the gardener came in, knowing that it will be about his daughter. "I want to see her book," she said. And shortly after, the girl came in with her illustrations, her hair tucked down, hoping that it will not be one of those times where the queen is going to burn it. For this was a marvelous collection of so many years. But deep down she knew that even if it happens, she will start again. She could remember the flowers. But to her surprise, the queen opened the book and, flickering through it, stopped at the image of the tulip, the first tulip that ever bloomed. She pointed at it, showing it to the gardener. "Find me this flower," she said, "and bring the seeds of it here." And that, my friends, how the story ends, with a kingdom that came to know flowers and became known for growing the finest tulips around.